guys, welcome to another episode. We are very excited today to introduce you to Mr. John Wright. He's with the Galactic Cowboy Orchestra from Minneapolis, Minnesota. John is the bassist slash vocalist and a founding member. Galactic Cowboy Orchestra also includes John's wife, Lacey Wright, who plays violin and performs vocals, and Dan Neal, who plays guitar and performs vocals. So the first thing, John, what can you tell us about your new drummer?
The new drummer, he's drummer number 6, actually.
Oh, wow.
Great guy. And yeah, we've kind of burnt through them or burnt them out, or I'm not sure what our karma is with drummers, but we've hopefully this guy's going to stick around for a minute. But the new drummer is a guy named Nathan Wright. And for those musicians out there that have their communities that, let's say I happen to be in the Minneapolis, St. Paul metro area. Let's say you're living in Nashville, or you're living in Des Moines, or you're living in Colorado Springs. There's a community of musicians that you tend to get familiar with. If you stay in one area long enough and you're in the business, you're going to make contacts and you're going to develop. You're going to find out who your colleagues are and find out, who plays what. And it was interesting because I've been in Minneapolis, St. Paul for, I don't know, 25 years now, 30 years. And I didn't know Nathan, and I thought I knew everybody. And I had gone down a usual list of suspects to find somebody to be in the band. The trick with Galactic Cowboy Orchestra is that it's very labor intensive. The music's very intense and it's time consuming to learn. It's not something that happens quickly. So if you're going to find somebody, a professional musician, to put the time in to execute the music, there's a certain labor of love that's involved, because there is financial remuneration for our efforts, but it doesn't necessarily equal always, I should say always. It has at various points in the history of the band, maybe equal time in versus what you got paid, but you have to find somebody who loves the music, and not only that, one, loves the music, and two, has the ability to execute it. And I thought I knew everybody. I got referred to Nathan through another guy. He was a student of another fairly prominent drummer in our part of the world. Super nice guy, and came in and I guess for our audition piece, we gave him one of the hardest, probably it might be the hardest thing we've ever, technically hardest piece of music that we play. And we've been doing it for almost 18 years. So I said, well, let's try this. And he came down and he played it. He sat down behind the drum kit, counted it off, and played it perfectly. Kind of blew our minds.
That's awesome.
So anyway, he's a good guy. Yeah, great guy. And rehearsals have been going good. And we're back into writing new music with him now. For the longest time, he was having to learn our catalog, which is extensive and involved.
I'm sure.
And again, like that, time consuming. So a lot of time was spent just getting him up to a point where we could play shows. And now we're in the last, I'd say, 4 months, we've been composing new material. So there you go. That's Nathan.
There you go.
Great guy.
Yeah. So, John, what can you tell us about the beginnings of the band? How did everything kind of form and come together for you?
Sure. About 20 years ago, I as a musician, it's kind of a bigger question. What drives you to do whatever it is you're doing? You have an instrument. What do you want to do with that instrument? Are you creative with it? Do you want to write new music? Do you want to play covers? What do you want to do? So I've always had a drive to be involved in music that was technically challenging, at least for me. Maybe not for somebody else, but for me. Um, and to write it. So about 20 years ago, I was in a cover project with the guitar player, Danny Neal, who's the guitar player in Galactic Cowboy Orchestra, and our original drummer, a guy named Marco Day. The three of us were in this as professional full-time musicians, which we all are. You get involved in there's many different things, many streams of revenue and different musical collaborations that create income. And this was one of them, and it was a country, like a Sun Records review thing, that was tribute sort of thing. And I had this desire to be playing instrumental fusion music again. I hadn't done it in a creative setting for quite a while at that point. And something told me that Danny might be the guy. I don't think anybody, at least in our community in Minneapolis, St. Paul, really knew Danny as a jazz or progressive rock guitar player. He's a brilliant, well, he's brilliant at all of it, but and he's very deep on the jazz, very deep on the jazz. But he was known as a country guitar player.
Okay.
But something clicked inside my head. I said, I bet you this guy could do this. So we got together and started writing, and then we got together with the drummer Mark. And originally it was the three of us just getting together writing music, and then the true story, Michael. We were making cassettes of rehearsals, and I brought cassettes home, and my wife, Lisi, the violinist, was listening to these rehearsals, and she said, she was also in this country music tribute thing. She was a fairly high profile violinist in the Twin Cities area. She had, at a young age, landed some pretty high profile gigs around here. She played with a guy named Martin Zeller, which was at least in the Midwest, is a big gig. If anybody out there knows who Martin Zeller is, had a couple minor national hits, and anyway. So stuff like that. She was in the scene playing at a young age, but she didn't. She'd never done any jazz or progressive rock, and at least I. So anyway, I'm bringing the cassettes home, and she's like, I want to be in that band. She's listening to the tapes, and I actually said to her, I said, honey, you don't understand that music. It's too complicated for you. I uttered those words, which is incredibly stupid of me to say, but I did. And she goes, oh really? She goes, really? It is, huh? I said, yeah, it's too much, and that was really just a really idiotic thing for me to say. Anyway, she came in. I said, well, here, learn this one. And she came in and that was it. She nailed it. Then that was the band. The four of us started rehearsing intensely. And that first lineup was a lot of fun. The original drummer, Mark, was in the band for, I think, 3-4 years. We started touring with him. We made a bunch of very odd films with him. We got pretty creative with it. If you look on YouTube, you can find Galactic Cowboy Orchestra films, which were made with Mark was involved with that stuff. Mark and my wife collaborated on making these ridiculous kind of funny films that we would show at performing arts centers. Some of them are, like 8-9 minute little productions of alien invasions and things. Anyway, it was a creative little period. And I think with Mark, we made 2 albums with him, or 3. We made 3 albums with Mark, the original drummer. And then the vocals started creeping in. Lisi started singing. Kind of just developed organically. There was the mission statement was just to play music that we thought was cool, that either instrumental or vocal, that again, we're writing music that might have been more difficult for us to, like almost too hard for us to play. That's kind of where we're at. So we write stuff that's right on the edge of our ability or past our abilities to push ourselves to actually be able to play it. So yeah, that's how it started. And then we've just been bouncing around for 18, 19 years now.
Out of your discography, I've listened to Earthlift in its entirety. I really enjoyed that album. Again, I'm a big prog rock fan, so that was right down my alley.
Sure.
What are you guys up
Great.
to currently? Are you writing another album? Are you touring? Are you on break?
We're not on break. We never really went on break, even when the world shut down. We continued to function. Uh, we're either writing or something's happening generally. We're currently in the middle of writing a new album. We've got 4 new songs put together, 2 of which we've played live. In terms of touring's a big word. We have a fairly active gig schedule, but it's right now it's regional. There's some traveling this year. We're going to Illinois and Ohio, I think, and maybe somewhere else, Iowa, the foreign country of Iowa, but all Midwest. Previously, the band had a fairly heavy touring schedule, very active touring schedule. We did 8,000 miles on the road the first year my kid was born. Our kid was born. We were very intense about it. So that's, the 4 of us, the baby, the infant, and a nanny touring in an RV. It's madness. We did a lot of heavy East Coast, Colorado. We're very active in the touring. So when you say touring, that to me is touring. That's going out and being gone and sleeping away from your house.
Right,
Being that's a tour.
right.
You're gone. Except, so we are gigging, and the plan is to regionally. We're gigging regionally and a few outstate. And the plan is next year, 27, to probably, not probably, we're going to go back out on the road, but in a less haphazard fashion, and a more organized, and make more, I'd say, informed choices as to where we go and play. We're in a bit of a resurgence. I think that might be how you discovered us. There's been a fairly active promotional campaign going on, and we've actually been selling a lot of physical CDs since October of last year. I think we've moved about 4,000 units. And that's pretty steady. So there's been a lot of rediscovery and new discovery of Galactic Cowboy Orchestra, which is fantastic. It's great because I'm not in this to do this for myself. I like to share the art, and I like to play it in front of people, and it's not a hobby. It's part of my vocation. So it's great.
Yeah.
There's a lot of new interest in the band. So yes, touring next year more intensely. This year, wherever we can manage in the Midwest, I guess.
Very good. It sounds like you have some really exciting things coming up. With your permission, we will post a link to the website, which, by the way, to the audience, guys, it features the background, current news, your discography, that sort of thing. We'll go ahead and post that, and we'll keep up with
Great.
you. So, yep. So,
Great.
John, I really, really appreciate your time. It really means a lot. You're actually the first group that we've interviewed, so that's fantastic. Okay, guys, it's time for round 2 of Counterbalance, which is a dual location art exhibit featuring 12 contemporary artists from York and Lancaster counties, running at Market View Arts in York, Pennsylvania from April 3rd to May 23rd, 2026. Yes, this time it is York, Pennsylvania's turn. It's curated by Matthew A. Paul and Jeremy Vlack. It aims to foster collaboration between the regional art communities. Can't wait to see you there.
Hey, man, when you gonna shave that mess off?